to the day in the life of a television news producer. The day starts off with a meeting to discuss what stories will be covered that day. Reporters are given their assignments and sent to work. Producers then begin thinking of possible ways to make that story better, with breakouts and additional information. Then it's time to see what's happening in the world and across the nation. They browse through the Associated Press Newswires, NBC News Channel, which is a service provided to affiliates by the Network for Video, CNN Pathfire, and the countless emails, phone call notes, and official web pages that are all a part of their daily routines. Then it's time to begin putting those stories in a rundown. Producers use a program made by Avid called iNews to put information into two-column scripts. Those scripts exist as slugs in each rundown. We can move those slugs around depending on where they will best fit in the finished newscast. They also add or subtract time from each story depending on how much will be needed to tell the story. Producers then must choose how to present the information, whether using a full screen with text, correlating video, sound bites, or maps. We choose the type of camera shot, whether it be using an over-the-shoulder shot, a camera shot with a plasma TV showing a graphic, or a simple single shot with just the anchor. That information is also entered into the rundown for the director to utilize later. Depending on the needs of the story, producers coordinate live shots with reporters, find photographers who can run a live truck, and let directors know what's going on. Every word that is spoken in a newscast is carefully scripted by producers. Changing one word can entirely change the meaning of a story. A half hour before the show, the producer checks all graphics to ensure they are error-free. That's also the time scripts are printed for the director and anchors. But what about when breaking news happens a few minutes to showtime? Producers rush to write it up, consider deleting other stories to provide the time necessary to present the breaking news, and stay in constant communication with the entire production staff and anchors about what's happening, all the while trying to write the breaking news from information they have collected. Once the show begins, you hope that the technology all works, because every now and then, something breaks. For the rest of the show, the producer keeps a constant eye on the back time, or amount of time remaining in the show compared to the time it would take to read every story. Based on how heavy the show is, certain stories might have to be dropped. As long as the show ends on time and people were informed about the news of the day, producers know they did their job well. But the duties of producing don't end with the newscast. Everyone has to post web stories throughout the day, post video from the newscast to the website, resolve any issues that happened that day and find ways to prevent them in the future, and be thinking of follow-ups for the next day. That's what it takes to produce a daily newscast. We hope you enjoy